Good morning, people of the internet. Today, no, let's change that. This time on Druidscast, we are going to be washing that big ass bumper there, front bumper, for a Volvo V80, I think it is. I don't know, I can't remember. He said it was a V80, but I'm sure they didn't do a V80. I thought it was V70 or T5, but anyway, it's one of them. Is it V70? No, V60 or T5. It's along the estate lines anyway. Basically, I was going to do this job anyway. He wanted his original front bumper spraying, cleaning up, spraying, and I think it was the front corner of the bonnet needed straightening out and spraying because it looked like it'd been dinged a bit. But a well-known recovery company, can't say any names for legal reasons, was going round a corner on the opposite side to where it was parked, and with the spec lift under the 7.5 ton unit or trailer flatbed that he was driving, took the driver's side out, front wing, and basically ripped the front bumper off. So he got a second down front bumper. He's got a brand new wing, front wing, but the bumper needs some repair work. Now I've already stripped all the black plastic grill bits out of it and the fog lamps, so we're going to take this outside, TFR it, give it a bloody good wash, and then I know where I stand on the condition of the plastic, whether there's any really deep scores or whether the whole lot's just not worth spraying. So and he wants some alterations because his bumper's got the headlight pop-up jet things and this one doesn't, so I've got to cut the holes in it for that. Luckily there is the marks on the back where they're supposed to go, so I can actually go around with the die grinder and cut them out. So yeah, in this episode we're going to be doing that. I have got the whole front end of the car to spray basically. Well, sort of. I don't have to touch the passenger side wing, and I don't really have to touch the bonnet. I can blend the bonnet in as long as the white we've got is the right match. Now we did go down to the spray shop where I go with the car yesterday and get it colour matched, and it turned out there's about 6 different whites on his car anyway. So we've gone for the nearest to all of them, all the cleanest colour to all of them, which is the brightest white we've got. So yeah, in this episode basically we're going to be doing that. We're going to be getting this cleaned, getting them prepped for paint, getting them painted. He's then going to bring his car either tomorrow or the day after, so I can then strip them off, strip the original panels off, put these on because these are going to be in colour by the time they go on the car. I'm then going to Scotch Brite them all back up and then give them another coat of white to blend them into the bonnet, door and the other wing. Hopefully, in theory. I do only have a couple of days to do all this, and obviously I work, and we're in the middle of the week, beginning of the week, sorry, it's middle tomorrow. So yeah, first things first, get some TFR out, get this bumper sprayed down, get it cleaned up, get it back in here, see what I have to deal with. Right, so we're outside in the back garden. Nice and sunny today, really hot today. I don't know if you could see, but it's not been cleaned properly since whoever had it on the original car. It's all green, dirty, road dirt everywhere. So we're going to TFR it down in all the nooks and crannies, give it a bit of a scrub and wash it down. This isn't neat, it's watered down, it's about 50-50. Right, so we are back inside the garage. Bumper's now dried off. I don't know if you could see that, but at some point this bumper had side markers in the front of it, and they've done a really bad job of filling them. It's in fact, it looks like putty on the back, but so we've got this to repair first on both sides. Let me see if I can get you to see the other side. So that there's the other side. So yeah, that there's the other side. Like I said, it looks like some form of putty or something, but they've used a bag to support it and then just tried to fill the hole behind it. So what we're going to do is, or I should say what I'm going to do, is we're going to sand this back edge down, try and get it as close to flush as possible, and then we're going to use some fiberglass matting and resin on the back edge to reinforce this bit here, and then it gives us then a solid foundation to then fill the front face and get the front face filled properly. So I think that's going to be the first job. Now it's coming to colour into focus again. So yeah, that's going to be the first job. Got both sides to do, so I'm going to do both sides at the same time. Basically get some 60 grit on the orbital, 80 grit, whichever I've got. I can't remember which one's the coarsest I've got. Scuff up all this area so it gives something to bond to. It gives the fiberglass and resin something to bond to. Like I said, get this as flush back as much as I dare, without it falling out at the front, and then we'll take it from there, see how we're going to do it. But yeah, I'm going to put a nice piece of fiberglass matting even across this bit, get it resined, make sure it sticks. Then I can concentrate on getting the front sides done, or outsides done. This bit doesn't really matter too much because obviously it's hidden by the inside of the car, but I want it to look right. You know, I don't want this person to turn around and go, that's a shit job, I'm not happy with it. So let's get on. Right, so as you can see, sanded it back best I could. Used some 80 grit around the outside just to rough it up a little bit, and then I've gouged it with the finger sander to give it something to bond to. I've also hollowed the filler bit out a little bit just to give it something to bite to as well. So I think we're going to set this up so it's kind of supported and flattish, so the resin doesn't run everywhere. So let's get on with that, shall we? Right, so I've got it set up so it's reasonably flat. It's got a slight tilt that way. That's the resin I'm using, hardener. If you've never used fiberglass before, or fiberglass kit before, it's exactly the same as using as normal filler. You just don't have to use the matting. Now this is an old kit, that's why I've got bits of matting all cut up. This was used for repairing Xena, Hannah's Puma. It was for doing the rear spoiler because whoever had repaired that in the past had broke half the clips and things like that, so I've made new clips and reinforced it all. So exactly the same principle. Basically tip your hardener into a pot. In this case it's a or resin into a pot. In this case, like I said, it's an old lid off a spray can or something, I believe. I don't know, I just grabbed one that was lying around. And basically just mix up the amount you need. To be fair, that's about finished the tub, so yeah, I can't get the rest out of that, that's all gone. Get your hardener. Dollop in there. Mix it up. In this case I've got an old nail. Normally you get a a little wooden stick, but after like 2 or 3 goes it's not really any good anymore. So my idea is we're going to use up all these little bits. Just keep. Sorry, my camera died on me, and I didn't realise until after I'd done it all. So anyway, the idea was I was going to use all the little bits up, which I did. They're all cross latticed in there to basically bond them all together, bond themselves together. Basically you just keep layering it up, you put it on, put some resin on, put the matting down, stick it down, put resin over the top of the matting, and then put some more matting down on top of that, and just keep doing that, building it up until you're happy with the thickness of the fiberglass. Obviously it's now all done. I'm obviously waiting for it now to harden. It should take, I don't know, an hour at the most. Sometimes if you use enough hardener it doesn't even take that long, but I don't like using too much hardener because then you're always fighting with getting it done before the hardener goes off. So I reckon I've put about 5mm thick in the middle, and it's down to about 2-3mm around the edges. So we're just going to let that go off and then start on the other side. I don't think anything's, no, might have seeped through a little bit on one of the edges, but let's wait for it to all go off, and then we can crack on and get the other bit done. Right, so as soon as the other side, when I was doing the other side, the battery died. Thought I'd show you what I mean on this side. This side I've cut basically a lump off of the whole sheet, or two squares off the whole sheet that I've got. So first one's first, I'm going to put one diagonally across that way. And bond it into this edge. Then the next one I'm going to twist slightly. And you just keep tapping it down until you're sure all the air's out from underneath it. To be fair, it doesn't really matter when you're doing a repair like this whether there's air underneath it or not. That only really matters if you're doing actual fiberglass work, such as making moulds and things like that. You don't really want air bubbles in them. So you go around, just tap it down. And you know when you've got it all, because basically it all goes completely clear. Make sure there's a good layer of resin all the way around all the panels, or all the way around the patches that you've put in. Make sure it's well bonded. If you can help it, you don't want to go over the panel or over the patches brushing it, because that just disturbs them, breaks them all up. You literally just want to just keep tapping it down. Right, that's that one done. Leave that one to go off now. And as soon as they've both gone off, we can start sanding the opposite side. Find out how much filler we're going to have to put in the other side just to get rid of it and flat it off, but that now will reinforce that section so it's not going to fall out if it gets bumped or knocked or anything like that. So we'll start again when everything's dry.